Hi, I'm Dawn Fleer, and welcome back to my podcast, Take Two. Today, I am joined by my friend and client, Brittany, and we are going to, hopefully she'll be a part of this more often, and we can, chit-chat about things, and she can bring some good points to the table. This podcast is meant to be, all things women, I guess. Every stage of your life. I call this the rebuild era, meaning, we've been through a lot of things in our life and it's kind of finally our turn, or we're trying to change the dynamic on what once was and, kind of see where we can go. We have a whole lot of life left to live, and why not make the best of it and be the best version of ourselves? So that's kind of my goal, is to talk to you about that and to maybe have people on here that can, be better than I am, and have some great answers for you and questions. And so just have a good, good time with that, I think. I think it's needed, and I hope that, you think so too.
I think it's needed. So? Yeah. Absolutely. Thanks for letting me join you on this podcast.
Yeah.
And most thanks to letting me join you as a client.
Yes.
This has been quite a journey.
Yeah.
I never thought I would ever have a trainer, and I cannot tell you enough. Like, you have made this something easy. You said, it's a rebuild. I haven't worked out, and I don't want to talk about it because it's kind of embarrassing. But what was something that was really important to me and a part of me, I let go, and I just didn't know how to get back.
Right.
And you've helped me. So thank you for that.
You're so welcome.
And we do have a lot to talk about,
We
because
do.
obviously I dove into this thinking I was going to get back to my old self in 2 weeks, and obviously that hasn't happened.
No, it doesn't happen quite that fast. And honestly, whether you realize or not, perfect segue, because the whole goal of this podcast is about chasing our old self, chasing an old body, the body that we once had. I think that, one, to kind of first understand, we're not really chasing that body because the body itself was amazing, but really the feeling that we had around that body. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We as a girl, do we not remember what we weighed or what size we were when we went to that one dance, or we did that one event, or we went to that one gala, or whatever? We remember, we tie everything to an event or to a thing, or how we felt in that moment. And so I feel like we're chasing a feeling of youth, maybe, of control, of having our life together, chasing, that time when everybody said, oh my gosh, you look so good, we're chasing all those things. And I think that we have to first realize that and understand that that's just a feeling, and we can have that same feeling in a different body, in a better body.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's kind of what I want to kind of talk about.
I think you have to also realize, and it's hard for anybody to accept, that age is a reality. It's going to happen.
Yeah. The opposite would be awful. We're going to age or we're going to die.
Yeah.
So, we want to get older, right? We want to have life and longevity and that. So, and I don't think that we have to do that by just sitting around and letting it happen to us. I think that we can do that and age gracefully, as they say.
Yeah.
And we, why not be a better version of ourselves every time we can?
Yeah.
Not that we're not, doesn't mean you're not content. Some people are content. I guess I'm talking as if most people aren't content with themselves or who they are. You can be content with yourself and who you are and still have goals and set them for yourself. So I'll put that out there for those who are like, well, I don't need to change anything. I'm happy with where I am. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I don't want
to Good for you.
Yes, I don't want to pretend that those people aren't there, because they are, and I love that, and I wish I was them. But I'm not, because we all nitpick and we look at things we wish we could change and that type of thing. But I think one of the things that drives me crazy is that social media says, well, now that you're a certain age, we'll even say 30, 35. I think people think once they get 40 and up, but it's starting at 30 and 35. You can't work out the same way you used to, and you can't eat the same way you used to, and everything has to be different. And I think it just puts a negative connotation, because I was thinking about this for myself. I've been working out since I was 24, for real working out. And I got to thinking, one day it's like, I can't work out the way I used to work out. I can't, eat the way I used to eat, and I can't do those things. Like, something is wrong with me because I'm now in my 40s. I can't do those things. And I think instead of looking at it like that, we understand really what they're saying. No one's saying what really they're saying. They just keep repeating the same thing over and over again, because they kind of jump on the bandwagon of trendy talk, everybody should lift weights, everybody should eat protein. And that's really all we talk about anymore. So I think maybe we kind of understand what that means, like why we don't work out the same way and why we don't eat the same way and what that looks like. You know, I don't know about you, but our diet culture says that we eat less, you know, and that's how we're going to, and we want to be skinny. So we want to lose weight and we want to eat, you know, eat less, and that's how we're going to do it. And we do that over and over again, and you know, you're yo-yo dieting and you're back and forth, you know, who hasn't done that? Once you hit midlife, or wherever you want to call it, 35, 40, although that's not even close to midlife, you know what I mean, but let's just call it what it is. We have taken our base metabolic rate and we have suppressed it. We have taken it way down. So that means you can't eat very much food if you want to lose weight, right? And so we've done that to ourselves time and time again. And now we're trying to lose weight, but we can't get by on 900 calories a day. And we've put our body to a place where it needs to eat 1,200 calories in order to lose any kind of weight. And we just can't go any lower. So everybody feels stuck and they can't do anything. So I think when it comes to we can't eat like we used to, we have to understand that that's not enough food. Even to have a good body, that's not enough food. So then we get to the point where we're in midlife and our body, every decade we lose more and more muscle mass on our body. And muscle mass means that we can eat more food and have a different body, you know, composition. We can look amazing at this exact same weight. I've talked about it before on my Instagram, that I have a picture on there that's side by side, the exact same weight. And if you look at the pictures, you would never guess that I weighed the exact same in those pictures. But the body recomp, I had more muscle and I had more fat versus. So we want to build more muscle so we can eat more food and we can have a body that we love, that we like, that looks different, that's strong, that's badass. I mean, that's amazing, okay? So that's what we want. But we can't get that eating a tiny bit of food and, you know, expect that our muscles are going to grow. They have nothing to eat out of, you know, nothing to feed. So we took what we knew when we were younger and we ate less and we wanted to be thin and all these things, and that's great. Now we fast forward. Now we realize, okay, we need to have muscle and our body doesn't really want to keep it. It wants to get rid of it. We want to have longevity. We want to live as long as we can and be as healthy as we can and have quality of life, right? So in order to do those things, we have to lift weights. We have to strength train. There's no way around it. None of us are marked safe from that. You're strength training or bust. I mean, there's no question. Does that mean we don't do cardio? Absolutely not. Cardio is important too.
God
and
dang
I'm
it.
tired. I know. I'm so tired of people saying, oh, we don't have to do cardio anymore. Oh, that's so great. Oh my gosh, you do have to do cardio.
For why?
You do. Because conditioning. So just because you can lift weights doesn't mean that you can, you know, chase your kids around the block or go out in the backyard and play with them. I mean, just being strong doesn't mean that you have cardiovascular ability. And we know that VO2 max, which is how efficiently our body takes up oxygen throughout our body, we know that's tied to longevity. You're not getting that, even though you're out of breath. Are you not out of breath when you lift when we're in the
all the
studio?
time.
Yeah, you're out of breath and you're breathing heavy, and it's cardio-esque, but it's not consistent, you know, to the point cardio that's going to drive our body's ability to take up oxygen and to use it efficiently.
What if you're doing like a power set, like nonstop? I know, like with us, you're usually showing me things in between, so like my heart rate isn't staying that consistent. But so what if I'm doing, I don't know, some kind of power set?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
a circuit,
a
fast circuit.
A fast circuit. Yeah, I mean, if you're lifting weights, if
Would
you're
that
lifting,
be considered cardio, though? I guess is my question.
it's good for you,
But it's
and it's
still not
amazing. It's still not this. No, I don't. Because just because I can lift heavy weight and get my heart rate up so much so that I need maybe a 2-minute break. Like, you know, you talk legs, you're lifting some heavy back squats, and your heart rate is through the roof. Any kind of lunge, I mean, you're breathing heavy, and it's miserable feeling, and you need a break. That's great, but that's not going to mean that I can just go out and run 2 miles. Now, I know, you're like, why do I want to run? Maybe you don't, and you don't have to, but the point is, it doesn't build your cardiovascular system in such a way that you could actually go out and do those things. And I'm a firm believer in, I just don't like being told no. If I want to go do it, I want to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't just lift and never, ever, take care of my cardiovascular system. That's why I do Metcons. So I might not, go run 3 miles, but I'm going to, do some sprints. The other day at the gym, a girl actually came up to me and she goes, "That looked brutal." And I'm like, what? And she's like, well, you ran, then you did the rower, then you biked. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be conditioned. I want to be able to do things if I want to.
Survival of the fittest.
That's right. I'm like, something's coming after me, and I'm like,
that
I'm
really
out.
is something that I think about, and I think that's like a good goal for everyone to think about is, you think about survival. I mean, that's the whole, I don't know, like
even
reason
if it's just
why
surviving
our body,
aging, it's surviving. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to be able to move. And, I'm not really a runner. I can run, and I do sometimes, and I'm not a runner. But I have stopped running and started over, and you know what keeps me going is I hate the feeling of how I feel if I don't move. And starting over to run is miserable. You feel like you've never done anything in your whole life.
I always get shin splints when I've started over.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing it wrong, obviously.
Well, I mean, there's lots of things there. Could be shoes, could be the fact that you're leaning too far forward. Lots of dynamics there. You know what I mean?
Forward.
Like when I always say, like, you're trying to get to the end before your body can actually reach the end. I'm like, I want to be done with this, so I'm like leaning into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't, but could be lots of variables there. But I hate starting over, so I don't want to ever have to start from scratch. I want to feel like I can do anything all the time. And so that's why I think it's important. So strength training, yes, crucial. You have to. You don't get an out on that unless you just want to age at a faster rate without quality of life, without strong bones, without being able to step on and off a curb without hopefully breaking your hip. It's very real. It's
Let's talk about strong bones
Yeah.
real quick. Sorry. So like you can build strength in your bones through exercising?
Yeah, because whenever you load your body with a heavy weight, you're loading it, your body then says, oh my gosh, okay, so she still needs me to produce the things that wrap up those bones and make them stronger and to help them to be able to hold that weight. So as long as you are, it's kind of like if you don't use it, you lose it mentality, and that's true for muscle and bone. So we're loading our body, and our body has to keep producing the stuff it needs to keep us strong and to be able to do that. Because we're like, oh gosh, that's why I think jumping is huge too. I have people who are like, oh, I don't jump anymore. I'm like, well, you should be jumping, because one, you ever just like hop down off a seat or like a bar stool or a back of the truck or whatever, you just hop down and it's like, oh my gosh, I've never done that. Like, whew, it's been a long time since I did that. Our body absorbs things, and if it doesn't know how to absorb the impact, then that's when we get hurt and we have issues. But jumping, again, our body says, oh my gosh, she really needs me to keep producing the stuff that keeps our bones strong, because she needs it because she's jumping. It's like, it's very smart and very intuitive. And if it doesn't feel like it needs to produce or help you, it's not going to. I mean, there's lots of things when it comes to bones. You get into hormones and that kind of thing, which is a whole separate topic, and hopefully many podcasts, because there's so many things tied to that. But I mean, obviously if we have a lack of hormone imbalance, or our hormones start to lower, that affects our bones for sure as well. So that's a whole separate topic. But strength training absolutely helps you to have strong bones, no question.
I know you said like you never want to get to the point of having to start over, but that is the point where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So I guess let's focus, or like any more advice on those that are starting over. Like you said, I'm not getting my pre-pregnancy body back. I'm not getting my 20s back. So I need to look forward to the future.
What's next? Right, exactly. So if you're starting over, the number one thing is to start where you are. I think it's hard whenever you know what you once were. If you did strength training before and you knew you had made some PRs and now you're like, I can't even lift that if I tried. That's frustrating and hard. But I think we can have some pretty awesome excitement in going forward, because we know so much more. We know that having muscle is very important, and so we don't look at, I think a long time ago, muscle was probably looked at as you only had muscle if you were a bodybuilder or you were doing a show or something, and that's not my area. I don't train that way. I don't train other people for that goal, but you have to understand that you don't need those goals. We just need life goals. So the cool thing is that you don't need to have your pre-pregnancy body back. You don't need to have your 20-year-old body back. You can have a better body, because it can be insanely strong. just because the scale weight says you're thin doesn't mean that you can do anything functional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, scale weight's great and all, but I was thinking about this, I am 30 pounds heavier than, scale weight wise, than I was at where I would say my skinny adult weight would be, like where I always want to get back to, that weight. So I'm 30 pounds heavier than that. So yeah, I could really dwell on that, big time. But I love having muscle. I love being able to do things. I love being able to be strong. And I think that that's the excitement there. So going forward, it's like, don't you want to be someone who can literally do everything? I don't want to be told I can't do something just because of my age. I want to be moving, building, and I think that's worth, if you're starting over or you've never started, I think it's worth starting. And I think it's being excited about it. It's intimidating to start over and to get into the gym and to do things. I mean, I'm intimidated to go to the gym. I've said that multiple times on my Instagram these last few weeks. I'm intimidated to go to the gym. I don't like it. I don't like people looking at me. I don't like knowing what people are thinking. And whether they are or not, we always feel that they are, right? So it's intimidating. But I think we should just look at it as an exciting time, that we know that, one, we don't have to eat this tiny bit of food. We can eat some substantial food. Who doesn't want to eat? Who doesn't love food? So we can eat food, we can be strong, we can put on muscle, and it's just a different, it's different than doing it just for, to look cute in a pair of jeans. Not that that's not a bad, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like looking cute in a pair of jeans. But it's more than that now at this stage of life. And it's better and it's bigger, and I think we can be excited about that. I mean, like I said, I don't know about you or anybody else, but I want to have the best possible body I can have for me in my season of life. And no one can take that from you. I mean, I just think that it also, a strong body is a strong mind, is you're better at being a mom or a daughter or a sister or an employee or a boss. You're better at all of it. So, I mean, no one can take that from you. You walk into a room and you own it, and I don't think there's anything better than that.
I don't either. You are not only a fitness coach, but just talking to you, I feel like you really are a life coach. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I love the positive feedback. I'm not gonna lie, every time I leave the gym, I'm like, oh, is this pain ever gonna stop?
Right, yeah.
And I mean, I know it's consistency and time.
Yeah.
And I want to get to that point where, a workout, I still want to feel it.
Yes.
Because that's another thing that I want people to focus on too, is that every time you describe the ick feeling, it's also almost like a high. Like you did that,
Yes.
and it's a good, you feel ick, but for a good reason. So,
right, exactly.
I don't know.
Well, and we don't have to always be so sore like we've got the flu, right? And when you're first starting off, you might feel that way.
Yeah.
And that's okay, and that's normal. But it's like, I took a active recovery day today, and I can tell you last time I took that on a Thursday. Usually that's my Sunday, because I destroyed myself. I went back to the gym, first of all, and I don't know who I become when I do that. But it's not the same girl in my garage gym, I'll tell you that right now. I'm like, who do you think you are?
Is it because you're
being
watched?
Yes, and I'm anxious. Well, I'm anxious the whole time, so my heart rate's like, sky high. And I'm just, you learn that you can, just like when you come to me, you might be like, oh, when I'm in the gym, I'll do these 12s, and that's okay. But you come to me, and I'm like, I think you can really do 20s. And you're like, you're kidding. And then you do. So it's that same idea. I don't have someone training me, but I have people there looking at me or not. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But when you mentally think that they are, then you do more, and you get to your potential.
Yeah.
Instead of riding that, we're not sandbagging it.
So being a little uncomfortable kind of makes it.
I think so. I mean, like I said, I have a garage gym, and I could stay there all day and work out just fine, no question. And I'm thankful for it. And I walked there this morning. Okay, great. But I'm a firm believer in being outside of our comfort zone and being a little bit uncomfortable is what truly produces change in every area.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big step. No matter what it is, it's a huge step. And then you're kind of anxious about it, and you're like, oh my gosh. And it's kind of like a little bit of a thrill and exciting and also terrifying at the same time. And I think that whatever area, it's just the thing. And sometimes in order to be different or have different or change, we have to take that step and do that. And then, that one step there, then it just snowballs, right? And comes to different steps throughout our life and our careers and our, whatever our goals are, fitness, anything. So yeah, even myself, I have to be at that space of being uncomfortable. And so I would say going forward that we just maybe, chasing the old body, it holds us back. Because we're always thinking about that and that one time and what I used to be and all that. So let's just get rid of that. I mean, first of all, no one cares anymore. No one cares what I was when I was 22 or what I was at 17 or what I was at, 35. Who cares? No one around me has any idea or cares. So I think that we just need to kind of just stop. Just stop with that and do the things. We have a lot of information. We know we need to strength train. We know we need to do cardio. We know that we need to eat enough food to put on lean muscle mass. And that doesn't mean you're going to be a bodybuilder, because I'm telling you, I can barely get people to eat enough to just get some basic muscle, because no one wants to eat because food is scary. But that's fun though, right? You get to eat and you get to lift and you get to change your body structure and you get to become a stronger version of who you've ever been.
Yeah.
You get to. You are still breathing, you're still walking, you're still here. Just make it happen. Find the goals and do it. So stop chasing the old and be excited about what's to come, what you can be and who you can be. Until we can't move anymore, we have a chance every day to be better and to be stronger and to live a longer life, hopefully, So that's my thoughts on that.
Your 2 cents
My
to
2
this
cents.
take 2.
Yep, that's right.
My last question,
Yeah.
as your guest, we were talking about putting ourselves in uncomfortable positions.
Yeah.
Was this uncomfortable?
Oh, it was.
Was this?
Well,
because I feel like you're a natural, and I'm looking forward to what's to come on this podcast.
The uncomfortable part is being in front or having someone watch this, or how you sound or how you look, and that's uncomfortable. Saying the wrong thing, is scary. But my passion for it.
Yeah.
Once I start talking about it, it's like.
And this is what you know.
It's what I know. It's what I know. And I think also sometimes it's hard to be like, oh yeah, I know that. I'm good at that, because we don't want to give ourselves accolades. But this is an area that I know, and I could talk about it to anyone all day. And I do pretty much. So yeah, that part's not uncomfortable, because I feel like, I know exactly what I'm talking about. But, it's still a step out of my comfort zone to do this, even though I want to do this for years.
Yeah.
But so taking that step to actually do it, it's like, yeah, it's good, and it feels good, and it's exciting, and it's thrilling and terrifying. All those things we talked about, it's all those things.
Yeah.
But I think it's good. I want to help other people, and I think it's worth doing it to help other people.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
You're going to be growing in this. I'll be growing, hopefully, in your training room.
Yeah, getting some muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. But yeah, so anyway, that's today's take 2. Stop chasing your old body, stop chasing that feeling, and be excited about what you can do today going forward and who you can become. And if you have, I've asked people if they have anything they want to talk about or have questions, to message me. Some people have done that already. So anything that you want me to cover or talk about on this, I am here for you, and I hope that you get something out of it and you enjoy it, and that you join us again next time. So thanks so much. Have a great